Alright guys, what's good, man? This is producer Loudly Soul. I'm back at it again just to give you guys 10 signs on why you're destined to be an amazing artist. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So number one is your thinking is in the long term. So you're constantly thinking the long term. You're not doing short-term results. Like, you're not chasing a short-term sound, not chasing some sort of this mumble rap type stuff. You're just sticking to your craft, sticking to your voice, sticking to your sound. You know what I mean? You're not trying to do this a DaBaby kind of verse, or a Roddy Ricch kind of verse, or a Drake kind of verse, or this kind of vocals, and change them up and put all this auto-tune extra stuff. You're kind of just trying to stay in the studio and develop your own sound. Like, that's one key into having longevity in the music industry and business. So number two is that you're not in it for the money. So that goes back onto my first thing, where it was like, okay, you're not trying to copy this artist and that artist. Since now you're trying to develop your own craft, that there's not going to be money in the short term, because no one really knows who you are. No one really rocks with your music like that yet. So after a while, just doing the long-term game, there's gonna be money that comes in, but you're not in it for the money. You're in it for the music and the craft, and to really develop your sound. You know what I mean? And so number three is you genuinely care about your fans. So when you're in the studio and you're making music and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, you're actually making music that'll impact your fans and your core audience. You're reading, comments and DMs, and seeing what your fans are telling you. Hey, I really like this last song, or hey, I like that last song that you put out. I like the way how you made that melody in this chorus. So you're like, okay, well, if that's what my fan base likes, why am I not doing more of that? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you actually care about, is making your fans happy. And that's a big key into having a core fan base. So number four is you're also improving every week. Every single week, you're making more songs, you're writing more songs, your melodies are getting better, your verses are getting better, your choruses are getting better, the topics you're talking about are getting better, because you're constantly, maybe you might be listening to other music and taking things from this artist and that artist, and then you're developing your craft. You're listening over to the ones that you made. Maybe if you can work with an engineer, when you work with an engineer, you guys can design a preset, a whole vocal preset and vocal templates that you can go back to, that is like your own template specifically. It's not another artist's templates. It's not like a Pop Smoke template where it's like everyone's using the deep voice thing. It's your own. And you have number five. Your friends are all on their way to becoming successful and big. So the one of the major keys is, if you have people surrounding you, and the people who you're hanging out with are also on their way to be successful, then that means that you're on the way, because you are who you hang around with, right? If you hang around with a bunch of losers, you're going to be the next loser. So if you're hanging around people that are actually on their way, either to becoming a big artist, big producer, successful at whatever they do, then you're in the right track. So number six is people are discouraging you all the time. So if you're, working a job, maybe you live at home with your parents or something like that, if people are constantly discouraging you, then that's actually a good thing, because that means that you're not following the status quo. You're on a different path. You're on the path to becoming someone who they're not at the moment, or who they don't want to become. But that's what you need to do to change your outcome in life and change where you are right now in life. Is you need to have people discourage you because they are not wanting, or they're afraid to do what you're doing. So that's a very good key thing to notice, is you must have people discouraging you, because that's how you know that you're on the right path to becoming, you know, someone who they can't become. Number 7 is settling for less scares you. So if you are scared of, you know, working a job for the rest of your life, taking a shitty label deal, you know, just being an artist who people overlook, you know what I'm saying, who just has a rise to fame for a year, enjoys the nightlife, the clubs, the partying, all that stuff, you know, the nice the label meetings and the trips and the shows, and then after that it just fades off. You know, you go to reality television, and you know, you have another little run there, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? You end up driving Uber like Young Jock, and if that scares you, then you know you're on the right path, because you actually want to be bigger than that. You know, you want to touch those Chris Brown levels, those Michael Jackson levels, where it's timeless. You know what I'm saying? Timeless music that's gonna be here for hundreds of years. You know, Tupac, hundreds of years. They still talk about him to this day. They don't really talk about those reality TV guys from 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? They're lucky to get airtime on television, but they didn't care about their music. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was actually, I think it was Kendrick Lamar, at the time he was coming up. Everyone else, they said that they were all getting money from other things than music because it wasn't taking off. But Kendrick Lamar, he just wanted to stay in the studio and get better at his craft. He didn't care about the money. But look where he is today, right? He's like making timeless music, you know? So number 8 is you're always optimistic and hopeful. You know, you're always staying positive, and you know, sometimes it's actually hard to stay positive actually when you're doing music, because the business that we're in, there isn't really an ROI, return on investment, right away. So you can spend tons of money on promo, features, music videos, things like that, and not see a dollar come back for the next like 2-3 months. Like, what the hell? Like, you're like, what's going on? But it could be one random day, and all of a sudden, like, you get a call from the label, or the one random day somebody, you know, a famous person, you know, just shares your song. It could be like Kylie Jenner. She could record herself maybe doing something with it during her day on Instagram, on her Instagram story, and she's listening to your track in the car, and you're like, holy shit, like, is Kylie Jenner listening to my song in the car? It's like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ROI there. And all of a sudden, all her fans come to you, and all of a sudden, overnight, you're like millions of streams, label deals. Like, that's the ROI. There's no oh, okay, if I put $100 into promo, I'm gonna get hundreds of thousands of streams and royalty income next week. Like, it doesn't work like that, you know. So it's always important to stay optimistic and hopeful, because things can change. So number 9 is you invest in your career. So you're not afraid to take big risks and, you know, put that cash in, and you know what I'm saying? Not just sit there and try to look for a handout. Yo, I need help, man. I need some help with the music, yada yada yada. But you know, I actually got no money this month. Oh, man, I need some more views. I need some more streams. I need some more this. I need more. I need this. I need that. I need this. But it's like, but I got no money this month. Can you look out for me, bro? Can you look out for me? I gotta feed my kids. I gotta pay rent. This, that. Can you just look out for me? This, like, how are you supposed to invest? How is someone supposed to invest in your career if you can't invest in your own career? Like, does that make any sense? If you can't invest $100 a month in your own career, how are you expecting a label to come and give you $1 million deal? Like, what do you have to offer? you have no streams, you have no followers, you have no fans, maybe what you should do is you should get a job, get a job, or get a part-time job where you can take all of that money and invest in your career. That's what you need to do, instead of looking for a handout and wandering around, and the next thing you know, 10 years go by and nothing's happening in your music business. Number 10 is, you know exactly when to take action on things. So you know exactly when to pull the trigger, when to say, okay, that's the right move there. Let's go to this city. Let's go to this event. I know this executive is going to be backstage because he's going with this artist. Okay, let me go backstage. Let me have my USB ready, and let me give it to this exec, or let me have my music on my phone. I can play it for the exec because I know he's going to be at this city at this time, and it's going to cost this much. Let's do it. Pull the trigger. And then boom, right there, you know what I'm saying? You made a move that's going to set you up. They might even say, hey, we rock with your music. Come to the studio with us. We're going to be in the studio at 6 o'clock here. Come to the studio with us. We rock with your music. Let's see what you could do. Now you're in the studio with them at 6 o'clock, all because you went to the event and you played music off your phone for the executive or the producer or for the manager. You're with this major artist in the studio now because you knew exactly when to take action. So those are the 10 signs that, you know, if you follow, and if you already do, then you know you are definitely going to be great in the music industry and business. So if you don't have those 10 signs already that you're following, just follow them and take it serious, you know, and just remember things can change. All right, guys. So don't forget, I have 10 free beats that I'm giving away in the link below, plus a 10K plus stream blueprint, which is going to guide you on how to get those streams in a matter of days using ads. It's all free.